Welcome to Inner Light. Today, we are joined by Tina Coleman, a bold and unapologetic voice for women at midlife. After her career as a massage therapist ended abruptly, she chose reinvention over resignation, discovering freedom through solo travel, intentional living, and the mindset of possibility. Her upcoming book, 50 Fabulous and Fuckable, isn't just a title, it's a movement, redefining what it means to thrive at 50 and beyond. Let's talk courage, reinvention, and at the light that shines brightest when we choose ourselves. Welcome to the show, Tina. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much. It's such a privilege to be here. I really appreciate it.
hmm So, Tina, many women hit midlife feeling invisible or stuck. What was the turning point where you decided reinvention was possible instead of decline?
I was terrified of turning 50. I was about 46 and I realized I was going to be turning 50 and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what's going to happen?" Because you hear all these stories like 50 is over the hill, you're too old, you're not sexy anymore, especially if you have gray hair like me. And I just did not want to be that person. So I wanted to be inspired and empowered by turning 50. I wanted to be like, "Yes, this is going to be like the best decade of my life."
Yeah, that's amazing. And
Thank you.
do you think every woman has that choice moment? Or does it sometimes need to be created?
It sometimes definitely needs to be created because I do know people that enter their 50s and they're like, "Oh, this hurts and that hurts. And oh, it's because I'm 50 and I'm old." And that is such an outdated way of thinking because today we live longer, we're healthier, we can be more active. We have so many other options than people did before. But I know people that are just a few years older than me that act like they're really old. And that's just not who I am and that's not who I want to be. So I know that other women that, no matter where you're at, you can change your life. You can decide to do something different. I lost 90 pounds because I was terrified of turning 50 and having all that extra weight on me. And weight is something I struggled with my whole life. So that was really a turning point for me, deciding that I wanted to be different. I wanted to change.
Yes. And that's so powerful. Like, it proves that midlife can be a threshold, not a dead end.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes it's finding the courage or realizing that you can make those changes because everyone has a different experience. And sometimes you're in a job you don't like, or you're in a marriage you don't like, or your marriage has ended, or the kids have gone off to college. You have all these major life changes happening at this time. And a lot of women can feel alone and lost and confused and like they don't have a purpose anymore. So I think reinvention at this age is so incredibly important for women to like reclaim who they are and be like, "Hey, you know what? I didn't get to do this in my 20s, so I want to go do it now."
Yeah, totally. Solo travel played a huge role in your transformation. So, what did traveling alone teach you about freedom and identity?
Oh my gosh, traveling taught me so much. And my first trip was right as I was turning 45. It was a week after the car accident, and I booked everything non-refundable, so I wasn't even sure I was going to go. And I just had this moment where I'm going. Like I want to go and see the world. And it completely changed my life. It opened me up to new cultures, new ways of living, new architecture. Like I get really inspired by historical architecture. So going to Barcelona and Italy was just incredible. And I just fell in love with traveling through that. And I met so many great people. And it just completely changes how you look at life.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And was there one journey in particular that completely shifted how you saw yourself?
There's actually been several, but I would say the first one that I did when I was 45 was really the most transformational because it made me realize that I can do it because I was working as a massage therapist at the time, so I did not get paid for the time that I was gone. So I was gone for 3 weeks because I was like, if I'm only going to Italy once, I'm going to make it count. I'm going. And so it's like it really opened my eyes to like, yes, I can do it, even if I don't think I have enough money or enough time. It was something I was really passionate about. And it was an unforgettable experience. There was a lot of hiccups during it. Like it did not go completely smooth, but it still was just such an amazing experience. And being able, to go and see the Vatican and be in Italy and see Rome and see Barcelona, it just changed my life and it changed the way I looked at it. I was like, I'm going to live in Italy someday. I'm going to live internationally. And within a couple of years after that trip, I was living internationally.
Yeah, that's inspiring because stepping into the unknown often shows us that strength is what we already carry.
Absolutely. And I am not good geographically or directionally. So, and I don't speak any other languages fluently besides English. So, it is a little scary. And a lot of people have called me brave for doing what I do. And I don't feel like I'm brave. I just feel like I have to live a life that I want to live, and not one that other people expect me to live.
Yes, 100%. And your book carries such a provocative title. Why was it important for you to reclaim language and flip cultural narratives about women at 50?
Well, it's really interesting because I believe the book was divinely inspired. I did not sit around wanting to write a book like this or anticipating to write a book like this. I was like, who am I to write a book on turning 50 when I'm not 50? I've never been 50 before. And can you even say this? Like, can you say this word? Or can you attach that to being 50? It was really, everything just came to me. The book came to me, the idea for it, the title just came to me. So I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this. And there were many times throughout this journey where I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. This is too hard. Like, am I really going to do this? And so it's really been something that I've been really passionate about. And so I really appreciate being able to share the message with women because if I can radically change my life and do this, other women can too.
Yeah, definitely. And how have women responded to that boldness? Have you seen it spark permission in them or embrace their own worth?
Yes, yes, I have. And it's so funny too, because everybody that hears the title, the first thing is like their mouth kind of drops and they're like, my gosh, I want to read that. And when women hear my story, that my career ended, I've lost 90 pounds, I live internationally, I lived on passive income for 5 years. It gives them the permission to be like, oh, I can, if she's done this, I can do this too. Like, if she's radically changed her life, then I can do it. Yeah, and I also got sober. So I went through all these major changes very quickly. It just empowers other women to be like, yes, if she can do it, I can do it. And that's really what I want because I want to create a movement where women are empowered by turning 50. It's not over the hill. It's not like, oh, we can't do anything. It's like, guess what? This is the second half. And this is when you get to do all the things you didn't get to do or that you still want to do and new things that you want to do.
Yeah, I love that. Because owning the worth changes the story, and suddenly midlife becomes a stage of vibrance.
Exactly. And that's something I don't think our mothers really experienced. And I am really passionate about all these things too, because I've lost so many people in my life, family members very suddenly. And it makes you really appreciate life and where you're at and realizing that we may not get tomorrow. We may think that we're going to live till 90, but there might be other plans for us. We may not get to that point. Or when people say, "Oh, well, I'll go travel when I retire." You're not guaranteed retirement. You're not guaranteed good health in retirement. You don't know what you're going to be like at that point. And traveling is challenging, especially when you're going to other countries and you're climbing the Spanish stairs or you're walking on the cobblestone streets. Like it gets challenging and tiring. So I encourage everyone to do it now because now is the best time. You're never going to be younger than you are now.
Yeah, I totally agree. And beyond travel, you also speak about EFT, meditation, and intentional living. How do these practices help women release burnout and step into abundance?
Oh my goodness. I could not live without these practices. And I was also a spiritual teacher in my late 20s and early 30s. So these things are very natural. I wouldn't say natural for me, but I have a lot of experience with them. And I got turned on to EFT, emotional freedom technique, also known as tapping, a bit later. And I remember the first time I was like, this is like not going to work. Like, what is this? It's kind of strange. But emotional freedom tapping, EFT, you're actually tapping on different parts of your body that are acupressure points, and you're releasing any negative statements that you have or negative feelings that you have about the situation. And then you go back through and do 3 more rounds of positive and intentional tapping with positive statements. And it helps to rebalance your nervous systems, your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. It also helps to lower your cortisol level. And it can help everything from nerves, emotions, financial stress. Also pain, like I have neck pain still from the accident, or if you're getting a cold or allergies, or you can't sleep, or you're having perimenopause and menopausal symptoms, doing EFT is great. Like I was doing EFT before I got on the podcast. So it's amazing to calm your nerves. And you can do it anywhere, which is wonderful. And I have actually been doing yoga since about 1992. So I'm also certified in it, and I love yoga. It's something I'm super passionate about because moving your body and stretching the body, and also getting the meridians, which are the energetic, kind of like the energetic freeways in the body, stretching those and releasing the blocked energy in those makes such a difference. Even just doing a little bit, like putting your legs up the wall, can help to rebalance and resync your system. So I'm really passionate about it, and I love affirmations and different types of meditations because it helps. Meditation is kind of like ice cream. There's like 100 different flavors of it, so everyone can find something that works for them in just a few minutes a day, and it can really help to rebalance your system. You can also do walking meditations, which is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And for someone who feels overwhelmed, what's the simplest first step they can take today?
When you're feeling overwhelmed, you always want to focus on your breathing because a lot of times when we're feeling overwhelmed, we're in our heads or we're not really in our bodies. So, especially like if you're out and about and you can't sit somewhere quietly, focusing on your breathing, doing like a box breathing is really helpful. This is what the Navy SEALs do before a mission. So, they're inhaling to the count of four, you hold your breath to the count of four, you exhale to the count of four, don't breathe for a count of four. So kind of like you think of a box with, four sides. So it's inhale to the count of four, hold for a count of four, exhale to a count of four, and then hold for a count of four. So and you get into this rhythm and doing about 3 rounds of it really helps to ground you, put you back in your body, and kind of it lets the overwhelm dissipate. The other thing I love for overwhelm is writing things down. Like journaling is so important because a lot of times we get into overwhelm because we're future tripping. We're like, we're not in our bodies. We're not in the present moment. And we're like, 2 days beyond where we're at. And we're getting so overwhelmed by everything we have to do, which I have had this experience too, trying to get the book done and be on podcasts and do technology stuff, which I'm not great at. So it's really easy for us to go into that overwhelm and thinking that things are harder and are going to take so much time and effort than what they really do. So journaling out the steps, breaking everything down into bits and pieces where it's a little more bite sized, where instead of being an overwhelm where you feel like you can't move forward, when you break it down into simple steps, you realize that even doing one or two things is going to move you forward.
Yeah, that's encouraging. It shows transformation doesn't have to start big. It can begin with a single choice.
Every journey every journey starts with a step. I think there's that saying, a journey of 1,000 steps starts with one step. I think it's like a Buddhist saying. But yeah, it's the small things, and what we don't realize because we're so into instant gratification. We want everything done now. We want everything big. We see the influencers on social media with these big, great, big lifestyles, and we're like, well, why can't I have that? And not realizing that it's the simple choices that you make today that are building those habits, that are building those routines, that are moving you towards your goals. And to really help create the life that you want, you have to start envisioning it, embodying it, and realizing that you can have it. I believe that all the desires that are on our hearts are put there for a reason. If it wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't be thinking of it. Like you have the tools, you will have the tools and meet the people and the opportunities to put you in those places. But you have to be willing to shift the mindset that you can have it. When you're like, oh, well, I really want to travel, but I can't do that, then you're automatically closing the door. So when you can open that door and keep that door open, being like, I want to travel and I'm not there yet, but I know I want to, or I want to go to Italy in the next year or 5 years, then you're keeping that door open for possibilities.
Yes, absolutely. And if you could rewrite the global conversation about women at midlife, what would that new story sound like?
That you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want. You can be anything you want. You can have anything you want. You are not old. Like, I never think I'm old. I feel so young. It's amazing. I feel younger now than I did when I was like in my early 20s. Because when you start creating a life that you're passionate about, you get sparked, like you light up. You have that inner light within you that just envelops you and radiates from you. And people feel it. People feel that confidence, that shift. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm too old, I can't do this, or I don't have enough of this. When you start really embodying your true essence and nature and who you are, you just light up and then you give other people the permission to light up as well. And I think now with women turning 50 and being in midlife, it looks so much different. And we are allowed to be, do, and have whatever we want. Like if you want to go take a pole dancing class, go take a pole dancing class. If you want to travel the world and not have a residence, like me, you can do that too. So it's like and the other thing is being in midlife, you don't have to ask for permission anymore. Like as women, we are so engineered from childhood to play nice, to be nice, to give to others, to share, to put others first. This is a time in your life where you get the chance to put yourself first. You don't have to ask for permission. You don't have to make sure it's okay with everybody else. You don't have to dim your light. You can be that person that's like, fuck yeah, I can do this.
Yes, that's beautiful. And what message do you want every woman listening right now to carry with her after this conversation?
That if I can do it, you can do it too. There is always hope. No matter what situation you're in right now, no matter how hopeless things seem or how bad things seem or you're not where you want to be at this point in your life, you can always shift that narrative. You have the power within you to do that. You are able to do that, and you are given this life to live it. You can be the best and brightest version of yourself, because so many people think that 50 is the cutoff stage when it's not. It's like we're just getting started, because now you have learned all these things. You've made so many mistakes. Like I have made so many mistakes. We've all been through bad relationships, money problems, not being in the right career. Like we've made all the mistakes already. Now we can take that wisdom and move forward and be like, I am doing it. I am making the life that I want. I'm choosing what I want, and I am going to live how I want to live.
Yes, that feels like the heart of your mission, turning midlife from fear into freedom and from invisibility into radiance.
It absolutely is. That's a beautiful way to sum it up.
This has been a radiant conversation with Tina Coleman, reminding us that life doesn't peak at youth. It expands when we claim our light, our worth, and our freedom. If you have ever felt the weight of old narratives, let this be a permission slip. Reinvention is always possible, and joy is always within reach. Keep choosing boldly, keep traveling inward and outward, and remember, your inner light only grows brighter with time.